And a welcome live inside the press box here at Ramona High School. Got a good one going. Game 1 of Sun Belt League play. It features the Arlington Lions and the Tigers from Elsinore High School. I'm Colin Holt. That's Tim Hatch, and this is Inland Sports High School Football live on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Tim, Arlington searching for their first win. Elsinore at 3-4. But none of that matters now as we begin league play. You run the table in your league, you're in the playoffs, and you're making a run.
Yeah, here we are in the second season, the most important season if you ask a lot of people, because at both teams 0-0 in the new Rain Cross Conference in the Sun Belt League open up tonight. Winner tonight is undefeated in league.
And so we're set to kick it away. Arlington kicking it to Elsinore. A deep kick that will go through the end zone and will meet the Tiger offense for the first time tonight. Elsinore in the all-white uniforms. The road team here at Ramona High School, as they'll go left to right across your radio dial. For Arlington, they'll be in the maroon tops, the white pants, the maroon helmets, and they'll be going right to left across your radio dial. Pick it up at the 20-yard line as we get our first offensive series of the game, and it belongs to Elsinore High School.
You know, kicking off for Arlington was there. Swiss Army knife, number 1, Zach Alexander. He kicks, he plays offense, does a little bit of everything.
And so from the 20-yard line, ball in the middle of the field. It's a handoff up the gut for the Tigers and a loss of a couple, and we send the Lions are tough up front, and they proved it right there on play number 1.
Arlington's interior line, we've had them earlier this year, very disruptive. Led by Jaden Canizo.
And so it will be 2nd and 13. Back at the 17-yard line. So James Brady at quarterback. Hands it off behind him. And Gavin Van Cott with the run, another pickup of a couple, and 3rd and double sticks on the way for Elsinore.
Elsinore plays a style of kind of a smash mouth football. The quarterback's only thrown 87 passes all year, which translates out to roughly 12 passes a game. But they like to pound it. It's tradition from under Coach Tony Peralta, who's a former CIF champion at Elsinore.
So 3rd and 11. Empty backfield. Under center, Brady rolling to his right. He's going to look to throw it. Feels the pressure. Gets it off to Van Cott. That's near the first down. He's going to dive forward. It's going to be close, and he's going to pick it up.
That was a nice read by Brady. Brady was flushed out of the pocket. It was kind of a moving pocket. He stepped up, looked like he was going to run, forced a couple of Elsinore or Arlington defenders to close on him, and then leaving Van Cott open, made a nice throw off the wrong foot. Showing a pretty good arm so far.
And so 1st and 10 as they set it up now at the 35-yard line of Elsinore. Just about 2 minutes gone. No score the first drive of the game. Ball on the near hash for the Tigers. Now a shotgun look for James Brady. Got a running back to his right. Brady now moves under center as they motion a man across. Pitch it back to Van Cott, trying to follow blockers. Gets past the first line of defense. Pickup of 6 after the 41-yard line before he's finally met and brought down.
Looks like we're watching a little bit of Norte Vista today with the toss sweep led by the quarterback. Brady led the way up the hole, and that created quite a hole with a pulling guard right in front of him, too.
So now 2nd and 3 as they spot it at the 42-yard line. A couple of big pickups from Gavin Van Cott, who already has almost 500 yards in this season. Brady barks out orders, ball in the middle of the field. Under center. Motions in the backfield. Pitch it out wide. This is Bademana. Picks up 1 or 2 as he tried to turn the corner. Moves the ball to the far hash. And it will be a 3rd and short for Elsinore. 3rd and 1 from the 45-yard line.
Looks like they use 2 different style of backs here. Bademana, the quicker, faster feet, and Van Cott's the grinder, both capable of breaking big plays, but two contrasting styles in running backs.
So 3rd and 1 from the 45. Elsinore doesn't pass the ball a whole lot. Handoff. Van Cott finds a seam. Van Cott ran into the 40. He's got a step or two on the defense. Down inside of the 20 and dragged down from behind. Good effort by the Arlington defense, though. Catching up to him, Devin Johnson, but a big run from Van Cott. They'll mark him at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 in the red zone for the Tigers.
Probing that inside, play after play. They finally caught a seam. Van Cott exploded through it, showing his speed and breakaway ability, as I just stated, and caught up. A nice play by Devin Johnson, who didn't give up on the play, ran him down from behind.
Leads the team in rushing yards and touchdowns. Brady under center. Strength of the formation to his left. That's the wide side of the field. Motion a man behind him. Fake the give. Keeps it himself around the near side. Picked up maybe 5 yards down to the 15-yard line. Arlington said the ball came out, and the referees disagree. So 2nd and 5 it will be for Elsinore.
That was a nice play by Brady. Very deceptive with the ball. Fooled the interior lineman who got caught up with the fake to the fullback. But he kept it, made a nice play. And you take 5 or 6 yards every time on 1st down.
2nd and 5 after the run by James Brady. Ball on the near hash. Brady under center. Handoff goes to Van Cott. Off tackle to the left side, still on his feet at the 5-yard line. And he's brought down by a big hit from Devin Johnson. But it'll be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Another good run by Gavin Van Cott, the junior.
Van Cott is showing some missability. First time we've used it today, but he's inside. He's very deceptive. His fakes, he's inside out with his feet, but still going in the positive direction.
Handoff, diving forward into the end zone. Touchdown, Elsinore, and guess who? Gavin Van Cott punches it in, and the Tigers are on top, 6-0 early in this one. 7:07 on the clock, and it's Elsinore who strikes first.
Well, that was a very dominating drive, a statement drive by Elsinore. Arlington can have to answer quickly here offensively, which they're capable of.
Now that swinging gate fake play that we see so often in high school football on the extra point. See how the defense responds to it. If they respond correctly, you'll just motion into your PAT formation, which is what the Tigers will do here. So Michael Sandoval, 4 of 5 on PATs so far this season. Trying to make it 7-0 in favor of the Tigers. Lions, Tigers, and football. Oh my, 7:07 on the clock, and it is 7-0 in favor of Elsinore, and Arlington will look to answer with their first possession of this ball game.
Well, Cullen, we have a beautiful evening for this too. This great football weather. It's kind of chilly tonight, cooler than it has been in a while, and this is perfect football weather and a beautiful Riverside Inland Empire evening. Great sunset, great field, and we have a really good game going here.
Sandoval.
Back deep to receive. We do have our jack of all trades, our Swiss Army knife. I do believe I see Zach Alexander deep, number 1.
Alexander standing at about his own 5-yard line. Back there as well is Zake Valentine. Devin Johnson, the other returner. So Sandoval will kick it away, 7-0 in favor of the Tigers from Elsinore. A drive that kind of got off to a rocky start, but they put it together. And Van Cott, that one just dies at the 25-yard line on the kickoff. Arlington forced to just fall on it, and that is where we will meet the Lions offense for the first time as Christian Burke is able to jump on that kickoff.
That ball just died like a 9-iron on the green on an approach shot. Great backspin on it. Just hit it and quit it.
So Isaiah Leuta on to lead this Arlington offense from the middle of the field with the ball at the 27-yard line of Arlington. Got 2 receivers out to his right. 2-man backfield along with the quarterback. Alexander to his right. Valentine to his left. They'll go option. And this is a quarterback keeper. Spun down by his face mask is Layuta. And so we'll have a 15-yard penalty, an automatic first down. And the junior quarterback, Isaiah Layuta, draws a foul on a play that was almost destined to be a tackle for loss.
Now, we saw Layuta earlier this year. We saw Arlington in a tough loss at Rupa Hills. And Layuta was very dynamic with his feet and his arm. And I believe at that game he had a hand in every point that was scored.
Spot foul, personal foul, out to the 40-yard line. Layuta, shotgun. That's a deep shotgun look for Arlington on that last play. We'll see if Layuta lines up in the same spot. He's about 4 yards deep now, a little bit more normal. Fakes the give to Alexander, keeps it himself again. This time he is brought down for a tackle for a loss, and it's a clean tackle at that as Colin Kerr gets there.
I'm looking at the body language there. Looks like number 6, Zeke Valentine, the running back, went the wrong way because I don't think that was a design run. I think that was another broken play.
2nd and 11 from the 39-yard line. Trailing by a touchdown are the Lions with under 6.5 to play in frame number 1. And now a whistle from the head official.
And that white cap is the great Ron Wade, a legendary basketball and football official for many, many years here in the Inland Empire.
So we're set to go again. 2nd and 11. Handoff. Valentine met immediately, brought down at the line of scrimmage.
I don't think anybody was fooled by that one. The defensive linemen were as deep as the running back when he got the ball. They could have got it and went the other direction if they were a little quicker.
Tanner Tennyson on the stop for Elsinore. And so 3rd and 11 now for the Lions. Appears that they're going to send a player off. Not sure if...
Looks like an equipment problem. He's pointing to his face mask.
Multiple reasons you can send a player off. If they lose their helmet, visible injury. Layuta running the option to the far side of the field, didn't pitch it, tucked it and ran. And Layuta continuing to choose to just keep it himself will bring up a 4th and long. And Arlington going to keep the offense out there. Set up right now at their own 42-yard line. This will be a 4th and 8. Got to get to the 50 to get a first down and convert.
Seems to be some kind of confusion on the Lions side.
Now Layuta can punt if he needs to, if they want to go quick kick. 4th and 8. Got a 2-back set, 2 receivers to the left. Looks like they got Elsinore to jump, but he's able to retreat. Didn't touch anyone, so it's not offsides because they didn't snap the ball. And now Arlington will call a timeout.
There's definitely some confusion on that side. Head coach screaming at the players on the field. And been there, done that, been in that situation, trying to get somebody's attention who lined up in the wrong spot. But he got their attention now by calling the timeout.
Lions led by Jeff Roney, the head coach, his first year, taking over after Rich Lunsford. An 0-7 record for these Arlington Lions. This is their first league game playing the Sun Belt League of the Rain Cross Conference, which is the middle level with Notre Dame, Temescal Canyon, Elsinore, Arlington. 4th and 8.
A 4-team league. That means this is a different setup than the past. So they played 7 non-league games with 3 games to go. These are all league games now. And they've had to play the upper level of the upper echelon in the Rain Cross Conference, meaning I believe Paloma Valley for Arlington was one of their closer games. And Elsinore coming off a game against Rancho Verde, a very, very tough game.
Out of Division 8, Arlington looking to run the table and get into the playoffs, as many teams at this point in this season are looking to do. Now the punt team on for Arlington. Far hash, punter set up at his own 30. High, deep kick, fair catch called for and taken by Batimana. And so from their own 31-yard line, Elsinore will look to build on their 7-0 lead with 4:18 on the clock in the first quarter. A very good drive after getting off to a shaky start. And here comes James Brady and the Tiger offense once again.
So Elsinore made a statement with that first drive, a 5-minute drive that pretty much, like you said, first two plays started out slowly, but then they got some momentum rolling. Now Arlington's defense can have to answer on this drive.
1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Ball on the far hash for the Tigers. Now some movement as Brady goes to a shotgun look. Snap to Brady, handoff, Van Cott, far side, stood up and spun down. Gain of about a half a yard by Van Cott on a 1st down play.
Arlington's defense is moving up every play, so their safety is only about 8 yards deep at the snap of the ball. They're putting about 9 players in the box right now.
Just over 400 yards passing for Elsinore this season compared to their well over 1,200 yards of rushing. So Arlington not as committed to stopping the pass as they are this potent, almost two-headed monster of a running attack that Elsinore brings to the table. 2nd and about 9 from the 33. They'll hand it off on the jet sweep. Here comes Earl Miller, and he is cut down just past the 35-yard line.
Jody Delgado leading the way, and along with Tyler Jones for Arlington. Elsinore had about 5 guys out in front of that play leading the sweep, and they just shot right through them. They missed some blocks, and a great play by the defensive backs from Arlington.
3rd and 5. Put him at about the 37-yard line. Near hash. Nobody out wide for Elsinore. And yet they'll pass. Brady in trouble. Got to dump it off underneath at the feet of the intended receiver. And now a 4th and medium play.
I think they were trying to set up a screen there, but it just blew up fast because McGill led the charge for the Lions.
So at 4th and 5, they will bring the punt team on. It is Michael Sandoval to punt it away. Back deep for Arlington will be Christian Burke. Now Burke comes towards the sideline. Looks like Arlington's not going to have anybody deep. So Elsinore just going to let him kick it away and let the bounces go where they may. Sandoval almost had it blocked. This one goes back, will land at about the 40, taking an Elsinore roll now inside of the 35. Down to the 31-yard line, they'll down it there, and we'll see the Arlington offense trailing by 7, just under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Let's see if we can see Isaiah Leuta, Kevin McCullough, Devin Johnson, and crew get untracked here. They look a little nervous, a little discombobulated in that first drive.
Once again, the Lions searching for their first win of the season. This would be a crucial one if they were to get it in their first league game of the season, the first league game in the Sun Belt League history.
And going the other way, too. Whoever comes out at the top of this one is definitely in charge of the league, because tonight also is the Notre Dame Temescal Canyon side of the bracket. Almost
Whoever
like a mini
wins
tournament.
this game will take home at least a share of first place for the time being. And I should rephrase, the first league game of the Sun Belt League as it is
part
now.
of the conference.
Handoff, first play. This one goes to Zach Alexander, a pickup of 0 yards.
He was met pretty quickly by the defensive end for Elsinore. Elsinore's interior line just looks much, much bigger than the Arlington line, the interior line.
So from the 30 now, 2nd and 11 for Arlington, trailing by a touchdown. 2 receivers out wide to the right of Leuta. Handoff. This is to Valentine. Far side, trying to find a seam, picked up a couple before being dragged down.
Elsinore using a 3-man front with 5 men across, so a 35 defense, and sending that outside linebacker early as they're committed to the run on the Arlington side also.
Third and 6, now from the 35-yard line. 2-back set, wide side of the field is our near side. 2 receivers are there. Leuta looks to the sideline to double-check the play. Now relays the message to his lineman. Shotgun look, 90 seconds to play in the first quarter. Elsinore with a 7-zip advantage. Layuta takes the snap, he'll pass. The lefty rolling to his left, finds a man, and it's in and out of the hands of Maxwell Porter. The junior wide receiver couldn't hang on, and we've got 4th and 6. And that'll bring the punt team on for Arlington.
That was a good throw. Hit him right between the numbers. Unfortunately, I think Porter tried to run before he caught it, which is a no-no for a receiver. Got to make sure you secure the ball first, get those hands extended, tuck it in, and then run. Out of the corner of his eye, he might have seen a defensive back who was right next to him. But that was a tough play because that would have been a first down for the Lions.
So 4th and 6. Layuta set to kick it away. Standing at his own 20.
Some more confusion on the Arlington side. And they're going to have to burn another timeout. Second timeout they've had to burn on special teams, both on the punt team.
Just over 10 minutes into this one, and Arlington has already used 2 of their 3 allotted timeouts for this half. Van Cott will be back deep to return for Elsinore.
As a coach, this just drives you crazy. We're 7 games into the season. This is the 8th game, a huge league game, and you got guys not sure when they're coming in for special teams. That just drives you crazy as a coach. And some teams we've seen this year, Colin, that are pretty interesting is the way they handle special teams. I'm going to bring up Centennial again. Centennial uses a lot of starters on their special teams, and they go two platoons, and that's pretty impressive the way they handle things. And right now, this is not a good look to have to use 2 timeouts on a punt team in the first quarter.
4th and 6 from their own 40 or 35-yard line, that is. Layuta back deep to punt. To return, it's Van Cott for Elsinore. High kick towards the sideline and will be shanked out of bounds. And Elsinore going to have real good starting field position, already up 7-0.
Well, that last time, the Arlington defense really stepped up and did a nice job. And they stopped Elsinore on the drive. So this time they need to step up again. So Arlington needs to make a stop, and I'm not lying.
See what you did there, Tim. 1st and 10. Now from the Arlington 48-yard line is where they spot it off the punt out of bounds. Brady under center, going to pass, trying to go over the top. He's got Van Cott wide open inside the 30, 20. Just tripped up now down to the 5-yard line. Devin Johnson there to make the tackle. We talked about it. Those safeties aren't playing very deep. They don't respect the pass. And Brady makes them pay on that play. Down to the 5-yard line, go the Tigers.
They had Van Cott come out of the backfield on a wheel route, and nobody rolled over to pick him up. He blew by the corner. He's supposed to get help over the top from a safety. Safety never got there, and led to a long play and a good play for Elsinore.
Officially at the 6-yard line is where they'll put the ball. 1st and goal from there. James Brady under center. Tight end moves from left to right. Now with motion, they pitch it to Van Cott. Van Cott spinning out of one tackle. Now he's stood up, pushing the pile forward into the end zone. Did he get it? Still no signal. And now they say he got it. Touchdown, Elsinore.
Wow, he was stopped about the 4-yard line, and the white hat just signaled was a touchdown. But he was stopped about the 4-yard line. He just kept spinning and moving, and the Elsinore lineman pushed him across.
Gavin Van Cott, his 2nd touchdown of the day. They show that swinging gate formation, but now we'll move back into the traditional PAT look. 14 seconds on the clock, 13-0 Tigers. Van Cott has scored both times for Elsinore, leaving Arlington reeling here in the first quarter. Sandoval to make it 14-0. And it's a nice round, even number lead for the Tigers. And Layuta and the Arlington offense going to look for answers as they come back on the field.
14 seconds left in the quarter. Right now, Elsinore looks very tight, very efficient, very precise. They're executing their plays. That was a great throw by Brady on the wheel route. Hit Van Cott in stride. As a cornerback in the zone coverage, you're either going to play inside or outside coverage. If you're playing outside coverage, that means you're expecting help inside from the safety. And the safety never showed up. And there you go. That's a big play for Elsinore. So Arlington's going to have to get back to what they need to do, what they run, and just execute. They need a score here to stop this Elsinore momentum.
Sandoval to kick it away from the 40-yard line, middle of the field. Two returners back deep for Arlington. It's Alexander and Johnson as they tag team, standing at their own 10-yard line. Sandoval, pooch kick. Fielded by Burke. Christian Burke trying to find a seam, gets back past the 40-yard line for Arlington. Finally dragged down. They'll spot it at the 42, and that is where the Lion offense will go to work, trailing by a pair of touchdowns.
You know, this overflow crowd here for Arlington still coming into the stadium is in shock. Just reeled in shock. That was a very quick first quarter also. Went very quickly. And that air of excitement that was palpable in the beginning with the line at the Kona Ice Machine, and it slowed down a little bit so far.
1st and 10 from the 42. Layuta relays to his offensive line. Two-back set, as is traditional for the Lions so far in this one. Layuta looking to pitch it. Now he keeps it himself, reverses course, he's got space. Past midfield, Layuta got first down and then some. Trying to stay on his feet at the 40, and it's a shoestring tackle by Max Long, but he got all the way out to the Elsinore 40-yard line. A first down for Arlington.
That looked like a broken play again, but Layuta is making something happen with his feet. Again, a very dynamic player. Both his arm and his feet can make things happen for the Lions.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line is where they put it. And that will do it for the first quarter. Elsinore 14, Arlington 0. We'll be back after this. You're listening to High School Football on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Back once again for the start of the second quarter at Ramona High School. Arlington taking on Elsinore Sunbelt League play as part of this brand new Rain Cross Conference. 1st and 10 from the Elsinore 40-yard line. Now Arlington in the maroon jerseys going left to right across your radio dial. Layuta's shotgun, ball on the far hash. Elsinore leads it 14-0 in this one. Live high school football on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. This time they'll give it to Alexander. Left sideline, picked up maybe 5. I'm Cullen Holt. That's Tim Hash. Will be with you for the remainder of this one. Pickup of 5 on the play will bring up 2nd and 5 from the Elsinore 35-yard line as Arlington putting together their furthest drive of this game.
Best sustained drive they've had so far. 2 positive plays in a row, carried by Zach Alexander, son of the great former NFL player Kermit Alexander.
So 2nd and 5 from the 35-yard line. Layuta back to throw. Trying to find a man in the flats. He was looking to get it to Christian Burke. Could not connect. A bit of a miscommunication as he misfired. Did not hit the target. 11:20 on the clock, and it will be 3rd and 5 for the Lions.
That was pretty well defended by Elsinore. Elsinore back in the zone coverage, cover 1. The corners are rolling up on the receivers pretty quickly. Again, there's a pretty good size disparity in the interior between Elsinore and Arlington, and their linemen are creating some havoc right now.
So 3rd and 5, Layuta. Shotgun, handoff, Alexander slices up the middle, picks up the first down inside the 30-yard line. They'll mock him at the 39, and that'll be a first down for the Lions.
A pretty quick run by, again, our Swiss Army knife player. He kicks, he returns kicks, he runs the ball. Good run by Zach Alexander.
1st and 10, Layuta. Shotgun set, ball near the far hash. Handoff. This is Valentine. Tries to go off tackle to the near side. Pickup of a couple, 3 to be exact. So 2nd and 7 now from the 26-yard line as they drive deeper into Elsinore territory.
It's pretty hard to get the edge on Elsinore. They close pretty quickly on the outside. Again, they're not really respecting the pass either. So if you look at their setup, they have 10 guys within 5 yards of the ball.
2nd and 7, Leuta gonna throw left-handed, airs it out, far sideline, going up, and being unable to haul it in was the intended target over there as he tried to get it to Devin Johnson.
Now we saw them, the two hook up a lot in our Week 2 game that we had. Devin Johnson's a very good receiver, and he had the Elsinore defensive back with his back turned, had him spun around, and just couldn't quite come up with it. Ball was right there, tough catch though.
So it remains 3rd and 7 for Arlington, 10:25 on the clock. They trail 14-0 against Elsinore. Laiuta's shotgun, ball on the near hash. Handoff, Alexander dragged down. A good tackle by Manny Vasquez, staying with the play for the Tigers. And so a 4th down play on the way for Arlington. The offense will stay out there. Not much of a kicking game for the Lions in this one.
Now, Zach Alexander, generously listed at 5'4", 120 pounds, but very quick feet, explosive speed.
Different personnel package now in the backfield for Arlington. As on comes Joseph Delgado. They hand it off to Valentine. He's trying to gain the edge on the left side. Broke a couple tackles at the 1st down marker. It's going to be close. Still no signal as to whether or not he got it. He got down around that 20-yard line. Needed to get to the 19. They could be measuring this one.
It depends on the spot. It was a very good run by Valentine.
And they're going to give it to him. 1st down now at the 19-yard line for Arlington. And their drive stays alive, trying to get on the board for the first time tonight with 9:47 on the clock.
Valentine was a very good downhill run. He was stopped a couple times, but he broke a couple arm tackles and showed some good toughness running inside.
1st and 10 for the Lions. Laiuta. Again, barking orders at the line of scrimmage. Gonna pass, rolling to his right. Left-handed throw, end zone off the fingertips of Deshaun Bell in the end zone.
He put that in a good spot. It was a post corner route by number 11, Deshaun Bell. And he put the ball right where he could get it. He was the only one who could get it, and just a little bit outside his fingertips. If he'd had a little bit bigger hands, it was his catch.
Now an Elsinore player down on the near sideline. Going to get looked at. 14-0 is the current score, Elsinore on top. But Arlington putting together a very good-looking drive for the first time tonight here in the 2nd quarter.
Also some time, running some time off the clock at the same time, mixing it up a little bit with run and pass. Again, Elsinore not really respecting the pass that much, putting 10 guys up in the box. They have 10 players within 5 yards. I believe this player, he was the cornerback on that last one, and he caught a foot to a sensitive area.
9:26 to go until halftime. 2nd and 10 off the incomplete pass for Arlington. Looking to rebound after a 9-point loss to Paloma Valley, probably their closest loss of the season, at least since week 1, when they were just barely beat by a Hillcrest team that's now running their way through the River Valley League. Kind of surprising everyone over there as far as Riverside football is concerned. A tough matchup against Patriot tomorrow night, but they control their own destiny right now. Sole possession of 1st place in the RVL. 2nd and 10. Laiuta, handoff. That was Valentine. Fell forward for a gain of a couple on 1st down. A 3rd and long on the way for the Lions.
See, I think what they're going to have to do is loosen things up with a couple more passes, but they need to be quicker passes. Elsinore's defensive line is getting some penetration, and if they get a rolling pocket with Laiuta, get him out on the run, maybe he can make a read, keep it, rather than forcing a pass, but spread things out a little bit more.
Shotgun snap, Laiuta. Option. Flips it to Valentine. He's got space to run. Valentine out to the 10-yard line, going to be about a yard short of picking up a first down. And now Elsinore says the ball came out. They said they recovered it. The referees say he was down first.
Now he got a really deep pitch on that. He was about 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage when he caught it, but he had a lot of space turning it up. So he fought his way up to it's about 4th and less than a yard. 4th and about 8 inches. Or it could be 7.5. I'm not sure how far apart his hands were. Referee's hands were shaking.
From around the 10-yard line, Arlington. Clock running inside of now 8 minutes. Layuta going to hand it off. Valentine got the first down and more. Walks in, end zone, touchdown, Arlington. And the Lions are on the board for the first time tonight on the back of Zeke Valentine.
Valentine running pretty smooth. He has a very deceptive run. He's very upright in his running style, but does run downhill and does break tackles.
So Zeke Valentine with the touchdown for the Lions. It's 14-6 in favor of Elsinore. Now Zach Alexander out.
More confusion on special teams for the Lions.
Extra point attempt for Alexander. Puts it up and puts it through. The Lions now trailing by just 7 to the Elsinore Tigers after falling down early 14-0. It's Zeke Valentine who puts them on the board for the first time tonight.
Now, very impressive run. Last time we had them, he didn't play. It's possible there was a transfer they were talking about that was going to be eligible, and it could be him. But he's a very impressive runner. Now, if I was Arlington, I'd get with my special teams right now. I'd get to the side and clear up some things right now because there's no excuse for this happening again. And it just happened again. A player coming on the field late for a kickoff, and they got to get this tightened up or it's going to cost them.
First kickoff of the night for Arlington since the opening kickoff. 8:04 to play before halftime. We're in the second quarter. Elsinore leads it 14-7 here live on the Inland Sports YouTube channel.
But that was a very impressive drive for Arlington. Took some clock, mixed it up a little bit, some runs, some throws, and very sustained drive, more efficient than earlier drives.
Alexander to kick it away. Short pooch kick, going to be caught by a Elsinore player moving backwards at about the 32-yard line, and now the Tigers will have to answer, their lead being cut in half to 7.
Now we'll see what Arlington's defense can make another stand. Let's get a stop here. But at the same time, as you just said, Elsinore's been moving the ball pretty much at will. Let's see if they can get a sustained drive and answer back.
1st and 10 from the 33 for the Tigers. James Brady. Under center, got a receiver split out wide to the far side. Now a formation adjustment for the Tigers. Keeper for Brady. Pickup of about 4 as he slices right down the gut of Arlington's defense.
That was an option there, and again, to keep things honest, the quarterback has to keep it once in a while just so the defense doesn't sit back and read pitch, or hand off on the sweep. It was a good read. He got a good chunk of yardage there, a good 4 yards.
2nd and 6 for the Tigers as they break the huddle. Receiver split wide to the near side. That looks like Sandoval. This time they hand it off Van Cott, going the opposite direction out wide. Trying to turn the corner. Pickup of a couple out near the first down marker, and it'll bring up 3rd and short for Elsinore.
What Van Cott's really good at is following his blockers. When I was a player, we used to call it get in that lead blocker's hip pocket and just stay there and ride him out. And he does a really good job of riding out his lineman until he sees a hole, and then he bursts through. So it's a lot of tough running inside, but it's a lot easier when you follow your blockers.
3rd and 2 now for Elsinore. Brady takes the snap, handoff. Van Cott trying to go around the right side again, lowers the shoulder and picks up the first down by about a yard out to the 45-yard line for Elsinore. Now it's 6.5 to play here in quarter number 2.
He was one missed tackle away from being dropped for a loss on that. An Arlington player, I didn't see who it was, got great penetration, but Cott broke through it and turned it into a first down.
1st and 10 from their own 45 now for Elsinore.
And I like the way you characterized that, too. When you said he lowered his shoulder, literally, he lowered his shoulder and knocked back the would-be tacklers to pick up that first down. Tough runner inside.
Brady under center. Handoff right up the middle for Badimana. He's got almost 300 yards. A triplet of touchdowns for him as he picks up 3 yards, brings up 2nd and 7.
That was another one of those plays where they hand it off up the middle just to keep the defense honest, so they don't start playing just the outside. Some tough sledding inside there. Again, the interior line by Arlington is probably one of their better units.
2nd and 7. This is a pitch to Earl Miller. He found some space. Good pickup of 5 or 6 to bring up 3rd and short. And Elsinore just getting those chunks of yards play after play, wearing down the Arlington defense and running some clock.
Yeah, again, kind of reminiscent of Norte Vista, who we had early this year, who just ground it. Arlington's a little more deceptive, but running the same style, just daring you to stop them. They're putting multiple players at the point of attack, and it's tough defensively to stop that.
3rd and 2 for the Elsinore Tigers. This is Brady. Under center, ball on the far hash. 14-7 lead for the Tigers. Handoff, wide side. Good enough for the couple yards they needed. And a first down for Elsinore. Now inside of the 45 of Arlington.
Elsinore does a nice job of moving their guys around. That time Van Cott came in motion to get that handoff to get, to follow his lead blockers instead of just coming right out of the backfield. So, again, as a defense, it's hard to read because you have him in multiple spots. And he has been their workhorse today, their main guy.
1st and 10, they'll put the ball at about the 44-yard line of the Lions. So Elsinore's offense continuing to move here on this drive, which started at their own 32. Shotgun for Brady. Snap. Handoff. Badimana. Pickup of 1 on the play. 4 minutes to play here in this second quarter. Neither of these teams really passing the ball a whole lot, and the clock is running quickly, which works in Elsinore's favor as they try to nurse what is now a 7-point lead here in the first half.
What I wouldn't be surprised to see right now, even though Arlington has backed off a little bit, they're playing it a straight cover 2 in the back, is one of those passes again, because they've been running a lot of run, little play action now to freeze Arlington's linebackers and corners and go over the top.
2nd and 9. Brady handoff Van Cott as he motions across. Behind him on that bubble sweep. Pickup of a handful of yards. Now down to the 39-yard line. A 3rd and 5 play on the way for Elsinore.
Very impressive drive so far, eating up a lot of clock. They've eaten up over 5 minutes already. And a first down here would be tough to handle for Arlington because right now they're just getting pounded by the offensive line of Elsinore.
3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Brady under center. High formation. Lone back is Badimana. Quick pass. Thrown over the head of Max Long as he was open on a quick looky route. And now a 4th down play for Elsinore, the first 4th down that they've had in this drive.
They caught Arlington in their cover 2, really stepping back and playing off the receivers. If he'd have caught that, it'd been an easy first down. Quarterback overthrew it. Tough pass to catch. And if I'm Elsinore, I'm going for this. Might as well just keep it rolling.
4th and 5 from the Arlington 39-yard line. Brady and the offense still on the field. Brady back to pass. Still back from the 50, he fires it, and it's caught. First down, Elsinore. He finds Van Cott. A flag down in the backfield, could be roughing the passer if the indication is where the flag was thrown. Either way, what a pass by Brady to Van Cott.
Brady took about a 13-yard drop on that. He was rolling to his left away from his strong hand, and it was a good throw across his body, especially since he was about 13 yards behind the line when he threw it. Good completion. Van Cott, great catch. Good run for a first down.
And so it will be some sort of personal foul. If I had to guess, it would be roughing the passer. That will tack it on to the end of the completion to Van Cott. Move the ball all the way down inside of the Arlington 15-yard line to the 13. First and 10 there for the Tigers.
Now Arlington, just coming off this score, is getting pounded by Elsinore, who's making a statement right now that last score wasn't that important because they've proven a point.
Down inside of 3 minutes to play in half number one. 2:40 and the clock is running. James Brady under center. Ball on the near hash. No receivers for Elsinore. Handed off. This is Earl Miller. Miller still on his feet. Inside of the 5. Near the first down marker for Elsinore. Will they give it to him? He'll be about a yard shy, it appears.
And Elsinore trying to go no huddle here.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Brady under center, same formation. Motion Van Cott over. Spins out of a tackle at the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown Tigers. And it's 20-7 in favor of Elsinore.
That was all Van Cott there. He was hit about 5 yards deep, spun off of it, just kept his legs churning. When taught as a running back, is never stop your feet, and he's a great example of that.
Again, the swinging gate formation for Elsinore with about 7 players bunched wide to the left. And then they bring them in for a normal formation since Arlington responds correctly. 1:58 on the clock. Sandoval looking to make it 21-7. A 2-touchdown lead on the way for Elsinore if Sandoval can make this extra point. He's good, 3 for 3 on the day, 21-7. 1:58 to play in the first half, and it's been all Elsinore in this one.
That was a 6-minute drive there, Cullen. They took it over with a little over 8 minutes after Arlington had scored. Very workmanlike, and I keep saying efficient drive. What I mean by that is no wasted plays. They run their offense, and there's a purpose to everything they do. So those plays when they go up the middle for just 2 or 3 yards are to soften things up in the middle to make linebackers and corners commit. Even one step to the middle gives them room on the outside, and that's where Van Cott and Miller did their damage, off tackle and more to the outside.
Now Sandoval will kick it away right to left for Elsinore. Up by 14 now after that touchdown by Van Cott. His third of the day.
He's showing great missability today with his spins and his piston-like work with his feet. Pretty soon he'll need to lay down on a Van Cott.
Valentine and Alexander deep to return for the Arlington Lions. Sandoval boots it away. This kick is deep. Will be caught by Alexander at his own 10-yard line. Got room to work as he comes to the near sideline. Still on his feet. Alexander out near midfield past the 45-yard line. And finally brought down on the play by Wyatt Kretschmann. And they'll mark it at what appears to be the 47 of Arlington. And now with 1:51 on the clock, Isaiah Leuta, and Arlington will have a chance to try to make this a one-score game once again before halftime sets in.
Zach Alexander, the Swiss Army knife for the Lions, showing great explosiveness. That's why I believe Elsinore was kicking short earlier. They might have to go back to that because if he gets some speed under him or his feet under him, he's hard to stop.
First and 10, Leuta shotgun. One back set, 3 receivers to the far side of the field. That's also the wide side. Leuta will pass. in trouble. Moves to his left. This will be a penalty for a legal block in the backfield. So whatever Leuta does on the far sideline, which is pick up a couple, will be negated. And I believe it's going to be Zeke Valentine who's going to get that penalty.
Well, he better quit arguing with the official right now. He's pleading his case, but he's being very demonstrative about it. And I know Ron Wade's not going to take that. So he might get an unsportsmanlike on top of that if he doesn't stop.
The question is, will this be a spot foul or will it be a foul from the line of scrimmage? Appears to be 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, which would put them back at the 37-yard line. This appears to be either a spot foul or a personal foul, as the ball will be put at the 25-yard line.
I believe it was a spot foul.
Sets up 1st and 23. Pardon me, 33. 1st and 33 from their own 25-yard line for Arlington. Not a good start to their 2-minute drill.
I believe that would be a country mile, Cullen.
Absolutely. Valentine going to try to make it up. Catches the screen pass on the far sideline. Got maybe 6 yards. Got out of bounds, though, to stop the clock at 1:31.
We need to see Arlington's 2-minute drill here.
21-7, the lead for Elsinore. Second down from their own 31. Got to get to the opposite 42 for a first down. Trips to the near side of the field. Leuta shotgun. Rolls to his right. Throws, and it's batted down to the line of scrimmage. He was trying to get it through to Christian Burke, but was unsuccessful. And now a third and excessively long for the Lions. Once again, they're set up at their own 31. Got to get to the opposing 42 for a first down.
And on a rollout like that, Leuta needs to look off his receiver because those linemen are rolling with him, ready to jump and deflect that. So he's got to look off that receiver a little bit more.
Trips again to the near side. Leuta, obvious passing down on third down. Now he's going to tuck it. Escapes the first rush. Up the far sideline. Got some green turf to work with. Finally pushed out near midfield. This will be 4th and less than 10 for Arlington, which is the good news. The offense staying out there. They'll spot it at the 49-yard line. 4th and 9.
I don't know
offense.
I don't know how Leuta got out of that. He stepped up into a pocket that disintegrated around him. There was 3 Tiger tacklers around him. And he squirted out of there like a watermelon seed.
14-point lead. 4th and 9. Leuta going to pass. In trouble. Tries to escape. He cannot. Ball comes out, and Arlington falls on it. Elsinore will get the ball here in Arlington territory on that 4th down play with 1:08 on the clock and a chance to build on a 14-point lead.
I think Arlington's going to have to roll Leuta out a little bit more. That pocket's collapsing way too fast. He's got no time to set his feet up. They need to use more quick drops and rolling pockets for him.
So Elsinore will take over 1st and 10 from the Lions' 42-yard line.
We'll see if the Tigers have some quick strike ability here. Is that a word, quick strike ability?
Absolutely.
No, that's 3 words, quick strike ability. Or strike ability?
It can be 1 word if you'd like it to be, Tim Hatch.
I like it. Quick strike ability.
All right.
A long 1 word.
1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Brady, sideline. Got to get out of bounds. Elsinore stayed inbounds, so they picked up the first down. Actually going to be about a yard short. Not a very good spot for Elsinore from the far side official, which means the clock will continue to run. Elsinore conserving their timeouts. Now 50 seconds left. Brady gets up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Everyone set on 2nd and 1. Quick snap. Brady will pass again. Drops back. Finds a man along the far sideline down inside of the 20-yard line. Another completion for Elsinore. Has him moving as he finds Zach McIntyre.
Nice job by Brady. Getting his feet set, deep drops, quick delivery. I don't know why they don't pass more. He's got a good arm.
And now Elsinore will call their first timeout of the half. 35 ticks left on the clock in the second quarter. They're up 21-14, and another good drive going here for Elsinore.
So with a 14-point lead, 30 seconds to go, Coach Peralta has a lot of things at his disposal here inside the 20-yard line. He still has a couple timeouts left, I believe, and unfortunately, Arlington had used theirs for just coverages and personnel mistakes in special teams.
Sandoval is 1 for 1 on field goals this season. His longest is a 30-yarder. Right now, from about the 17, we're looking at about a 35-yarder.
So if one more good play could put them in range.
First and 10. Elsinore driving with 35 seconds to go in this half, up 14 already. Brady, shotgun look, gonna pass. Finds a man cutting in, it's Max Long. Long. A flag is down on the play. Behind the play. After a pickup of about 5, Elsinore will call a timeout. At least it appeared that Elsinore called a timeout. Either way, this will probably be a penalty against the Tigers.
They tried kind of an inside bubble screen. They hit the receiver on a slant, and then the lineman took off, but somebody was holding on that. Not a good mistake right there. Put him back pretty far.
So now a first down play. Set up back at their own 33. Got to get down to the 7 or 8 yard line. This is Battyman.
That was a pretty good deceptive play. They had the whole pocket. He had a moving pocket with him going left, and he handed off on a draw play, a delayed draw to Batimana. That was a good play.
Second down, 15 seconds on the clock. I say you got about one more play in you to try to get down to the 7 yard line, get that first down before you send the field goal unit on. Right now, set up at the 24. This would be about a 42 yarder.
What I'm kind of surprised about is how deep they have that rolling pocket going. So he's throwing it from 10, 11 yards deep, and that one is a 13 yards deep rollout. But he's got the arm strength to get the ball there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a little corner fade route here. He's got some good-sized receivers out there, and he's been completing some passes today.
Off the timeout by Elsinore. They've got one left. .15 on the clock. Second down for Elsinore. Brady, the 6-foot junior, shotgun. Back to pass. Now tries to step up in the pocket. He'll be sacked by a swarm of Lions. And this will be the final timeout for Elsinore. Question is, are you too far outside of field goal range? With 6 seconds left, you don't really have an option to run a play and then try to kick the field goal, especially not without a timeout.
Looks like they're setting up for the field goal.
And they're going to try to get Sandoval to add 3 points on before the half.
Now, he was swarmed by a plethora of lions. What's the collective noun for lions? Would it be a pack of lions?
Pride.
There you go.
That's what I'm here for, Tim Hatch.
Thank you.
So third and very long. Double sticks, in fact, for Elsinore.
Now, I think you'd also have to be very cognizant of a fake here. I wouldn't go for a block here. I'd roll back a couple safeties there just in case they do run a fake. Which Arlington is doing. Devin Johnson back deep as a safety.
Well, and if this kick comes up short, too, you got a chance to return it if you're Arlington. Anything helps at this point. You're down 21-7. 6 ticks on the clock until halftime. Sandoval, right-footed kicker, only attempted 1 field goal this year. He's batting 1,000, though. A 30-yarder that was good earlier this season. This one, 43 yards. Sandoval got good distance. And now a flag is down. And this appears to be a false start. And it's going to be motioned against Elsinore. Sandoval, that kick was accurate and deep.
That looked pretty good.
Not going to count.
So he's got 40-yard range.
Question is 48 yards?
I don't think so, Colin.
And it looks like they might be bringing the offense back on, and they will. James Brady. And the Elsinore offense huddled up at about the 40-yard line. You've got time for one throw to the end zone. So third and very long. The down and distance don't matter. 31 yards to the end zone. Clock says 4 seconds. Brady to pass, in trouble. That'll do it for half number one as he's brought down on the sack. 21-7 will be the Elsinore lead at halftime. You are listening to Inland Empire High School football right here on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. None of it would be possible without the help of our great sponsors. The next time you need your oil changed, go check out Spoiled, quick quality oil change on Alessandro Boulevard in Riverside, just off the 215 freeway. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled, and give them a follow on Instagram. Since 1976, Ken Sporting Goods has been the #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire. They can also do uniforms for your entire team or for your business. And of course, they do Letterman's jackets. Check out Ken Sporting Goods in Norco and visit them online at kensportinggoods.com. If you're in the market looking to purchase a truck, car, or SUV, make Catalano Motors in Corona your first stop. They have weekly specials, so you're going to save thousands of dollars. Mention the Inland Sports Show and get an additional $500 off. That's Catalano Motors in Corona off Temescal Canyon Road. Visit them online at catalanocars.com. Athletes from all sports and all levels are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Check out their strength and speed classes and become the explosive, dynamic athlete you always dreamed of. Follow Boost on Twitter and Instagram and visit them online at boosttrainingsystems.com. That's Boost Performance Training. If you'd like to advertise with us or sponsor the Inland Sports Show, simply shoot us an email at inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. Once again, I'm Colin Holt. That's Tim Hatch. Second half is next. Elsinore with a 14-point lead at Ramona High School. First game of Sun Belt League play. We'll be back after this. And welcome back inside the press box. Ramona High School, a good one between Arlington and Elsinore, game one of Sun Belt League play as we know it today as part of the Rain Cross Conference. I'm Cullen Holt, that's Tim Hatch, and this is Inland Empire High School football right here on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. A 21-7 advantage for the Elsinore Tigers, whose offense looked pretty much dominant for the entire first half.
Very crisp. A lot of James Brady and Gavin Van Cott. Arlington's going to have to find an answer for those two who formed a dynamic duo. I would say along with Battimana, he's the Robin to his Batman.
They do call him the Batman over there.
There you go.
On the
works.
Elsinore sideline. So we'll put 24 minutes back on the clock. A 14-point lead for Elsinore. In the white away uniforms, we'll kick it off right to left. Arlington returning left to right in the maroon tops, the white pants, and the maroon helmets.
Let's see if they kick it a little shorter this time. Last time, the Swiss Army knife, Zach Alexander, the pocket rocket, exploded for a long return.
Line drive kick, scooped up by Burke. He's got room to run as he cuts it across the field. To the near sideline, stiff arms the kicker. Across midfield to the 40-yard line, and a good start for Arlington as they try to find some momentum down a pair of touchdowns.
Well, that didn't work out the way Elsinore wanted it to. They were hoping for a down ball down around the 20. Instead, Burke turned around and great run. I like the stiff arm at the end, too, refusing to go down.
So Layuta and the Lion offense on the field, taken over at the Elsinore 42-yard line. And Arlington just one real sustained drive that resulted in the touchdown. Now a chance with a short field to try to do that again. Down 2 scores. Ball on the near hash.
Exclusively going to Zeke Valentine. Last time we had him, Kevin McCullough was the main runner.
One back set, Valentine at the middle. Breaks past the first line of defense. First down and then some, down inside the 30-yard line.
Good explosive run. Great hole opened up by the interior line of Arlington. Off to a good start this half.
Layuta. Again with the ball in the near hash. He's got Valentine back there with him. 3 receivers far side. Shotgun snap, Valentine goes down immediately back at the line of scrimmage.
That looked like he might have rolled an ankle or something, the way he landed. He went down before he was hit.
Now Valentine, a bit shaken up as he makes his way to the sideline. On comes Zach Alexander.
It's interesting to watch Elsinore's defense. They use a 4-man front, but they weigh it towards the short side of the field and then roll their corners up tight on the strong side of the field.
Layuta, shotgun look, single back set, that's Alexander. Right behind him. They'll pass. Layuta fires one, caught. Good pickup of about 6 down to the 24-yard line. And a third and manageable on the way for Arlington as they're on the move with under 11 minutes here in the third quarter.
I think they need to use Layuta's explosiveness a little more to their advantage. Rolling pockets, quick drops like that are to his advantage.
Layuta shotgun again, got Alexander as the lone back. 3 receivers now to the near side, which is the wide side of the field now. 3rd and 4 from the 24-yard line. Layuta, shotgun. Got to snap it quickly, he does. They run the option to the near side. Layuta will keep it. Dives forward near the first down marker. Going to be about a half a yard short on the spot. And so 4th and inches on the way for Arlington.
That was one of those plays where the tackler helped the runner. He tackled him from behind, pushed him forward by about 2 yards.
Right at the 20-yard line. The first down marker just a few inches in front of the nose of the football. Now a 2-back set again for Arlington as Joseph Delgado joins Alexander in the backfield. And off instead, this is Valentine back there. Valentine picks up the first down to the 15-yard line for Arlington after he exited due to what appeared to be an ankle problem.
Ankle didn't look like it's bothering him anymore right there. That was an explosive run. He saw an opening. He shot through it very quickly.
1st and 10, it's Valentine and Delgado in the backfield, just like last play. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Handoff. Valentine bottled up in the backfield. Going to lose 3 yards on this one. And Elsinore's defensive line with a good push on that play.
Yeah, that play was kind of doomed from the beginning. They had a pulling guard on that. Arlington's guard never got out there because of the depth that Elsinore's defensive end achieved. Good depth, blew the play up, knocked him back about 4 yards.
Second and 13. Put the ball at the 17-yard line. Handoff goes to Delgado, the up back. Gets him back to the original first down line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 10 on the way for Arlington.
Again, just probing the middle just to keep them honest so the Elsinore defense just doesn't fly to the outside. Good pickup, but it's going to be tough here without a solid kicker. It's going to be 2-down territory to get the first down.
Layuta back in the shotgun again. Down by 14. Arlington going to pass. Got a man in the flats on the bubble. It's Valentine. That's a live ball. He slides, and it gets knocked out of bounds, and that is where the ball will be spotted on 3rd down. And going backwards is not what you needed there. If you're Arlington, a very good drive that just comes to a screeching halt as you bring up 4th and double sticks back at the 23-yard line for the Lions.
That could have been a touchdown there. That could have been 6 because he was out there in the flat, wide open, nobody within 15 yards of him. He just missed him.
Got to get down to the 4. 4th and 19 for Arlington. The offense is what Roney will go with. To pass, obviously. Layuta steps up, fires, end zone, well overthrows the intended target as he was looking to get it to Johnson. And that is how Arlington's drive, which got off to a great start, comes to a close. A turnover on downs, and Elsinore goes back the other way.
That was very well covered. The corner had deep outside, and he had a safety rolling up on the inside. So there was really no place for him to put that ball except out of the end zone. But, yeah, this disappointing drive there, off to a great start. Valentine looking good, picking up chunks of yards. Now let's see if the defense can step up and bottle up Elsinore right now.
With 8:01 on the clock and a 14-point lead, the Tigers take over the first offensive possession of this half. James Brady under center, 2-man backfield. Handoff, Van Cott. Grabbed by the ankle behind the line of scrimmage, and he'll be brought down for a loss on 1st down.
I want to say since the first drive of the game, that's the first time I remember him being brought down for a loss since those first 2 plays of the very first drive of the game. Everything's been very positive momentum, forward motion for the Tigers.
So from the Elsinore 21-yard line, a 2nd and 12 situation for the Tigers. Brady under center, got a receiver split out wide to the near side. They'll go with the handoff to Van Cott. Actually, misdirection, go out wide with it. Far side, another tackle for loss. And how about this Arlington defense responding early? Kanizer in on the play, a name we called an awful lot against Tarupa Hills.
Kanizer's been playing like a man possessed the last couple possessions, no pun intended. But he's been a force in the middle there. Tough 6'3", 75-pound lineman with a lot of energy.
And so now 3rd and 12. Brady comes in with the play. They break the huddle. 21-7 Elsinore. Inside of 6:45 to play in this 3rd quarter.
And this huge Arlington crowd starting to get back into it.
Brady, handoff. This is Earl Miller, near side. He makes 1-man miss. Lowers the shoulder at the end of the run. He's near the 1st down marker. Now a generous spot as he dove forward. Will give him the 1st down out to the 35-yard line. And how about Earl Miller with the effort on the jet sweep?
That was a tough run because they had him stopped with about 5 yards to go, and he did an inside-out move, and it fooled the Arlington linebacker who bid on the fake and picked him up the extra 5 yards. But nice run by Miller.
So 1st and 10 from the 35. Elsinore back to work on offense. Their first offensive possession of the second half as they went into the halftime locker room leading 14 points. Pitch out wide for Van Cott. One-on-one, makes the man miss in space, and then sidesteps out of bounds after a pickup of 5 or 6.
That was just a straight sweep, trying to beat the outside guy. Zach Alexander, again, my Swiss Army knife from Arlington, coming up to make a play.
From the 41 now, a 2nd and 4 play for Elsinore. Again, they huddle. Clock stops at 5:58 to go in the third quarter. 21-7 in favor of the Tigers. James Brady, when he has passed, has been effective. Like we said, Arlington's defensive backs not very deep. Handoff. Right up the gut. Stuffed after a pickup of 2. Bring up 3rd and short. Badimana on the carry.
Yeah, again, I think that falls in the category of just keeping the defense honest, just probing the middle, just keeping things running up the middle, just to keep them so they don't start laying off and heading right to the outside.
Now an injury timeout for Arlington. One of their inside players appears to be down.
When you get to this point of the season, injuries do play a part of this, but you would hope in the first league game that it's not somebody that's a two-way player or somebody that, although all players are important, but somebody who's a difference maker on the squad.
It will be 3rd and short for Elsinore when we get back to action on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. A 21-7 lead for the Tigers from Elsinore.
With a 3rd down and about 2 yards to go, after the player comes back in, Arlington's looked pretty good so far on both sides, but they need to finish the drive either offensively with a score or defensively with a stop and a 4 and out with a punt so they can get back to the offensive side. They don't want to go down 3 scores at this point. Although it is still early, Elsinore does tend to run a lot of clock off when they get their drives. Again, looking at the two teams, I'd say efficiency on the Elsinore side, businesslike. Nothing flashy. They do their thing. They run their offense quick. They get the quick bursts, say 4 or 5 yards on first down, and then they go from there. But they're a tough team to stop. And if you get down 3 scores, their ability to eat up clock is going to be a big difference maker towards the end.
So with 5:38 on the clock in the third quarter, the 3 and 4 Elsinore Tigers looking to put together a drive against the 0-7 Arlington Lions. They're trying to just stay in the game at this point. Down a pair of touchdowns at halftime. They had a good drive to start things off in the second half that stalled deep in Elsinore territory.
And this also goes back to what Coach Roney had talked about in week 2 about a young team learning how to win. They've played some close games, but learning how to win means the execution on that one play that stalled the drive. So they had the play they wanted. They had the coverage they wanted. On just a quick slant, or not a slant, but a bubble route from the running back, and the quarterback just missed him. And because he wasn't out going forward, it turned out to be a lateral. Going out of bounds turned out to be about an 8-yard loss, and it killed the drive. Those are the kind of things that veteran teams don't do, and it looks like this Elsinore team has a little more veteran savvy to them. Savvy being my word of the day. Savvy also meaning I could say sabi if you watch the old Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Savvy meaning do you understand? So I'm bringing in some Johnny Depp there too at the same time. Some Jack Sparrow.
The Arlington player able to get to his feet on the far side as Malik McGill.
And McGill is a difference maker on the defensive side. He blows up plays. He's got some strength. He's got very long arms. A good athlete out there in his defensive end position.
So we're back to action with a 3rd and 2. Set up from their own 43-yard line is Elsinore. They lead 21-7 with 5:38 on the clock.
Now, something teams are more cognizant of these days are the concussion protocols. If there's anything to do with a head injury, he has to go through several tests and will not be allowed back onto the field until he follows concussion protocols.
No receivers on the formation for Elsinore. Handoff goes to Van Cott. He's got a seam on the far sideline into Arlington territory after picking up the first down. They'll mark him at the Lion 45-yard line, and the Tigers are on the move once again.
What's impressive about the Elsinore drives and the running backs is they don't pop 60, 70, 80-yard runs. They pop 17, 18, 20-yard runs. But those just keep wearing down the defense, and it's just tough, play after play after play.
1st and 10. Handed off Van Cott again on the far side. Breaking out of tackles and finally brought down just short of the first down after a pickup of 9.
They're running to that side where number 50 came out of. The guy that just came out from McGill just came out for Arlington. They're taking advantage of him coming out and exposing that side because he was a tough interior defender.
2nd and 1 for Elsinore. Again, no receivers on the formation. This handoff to Miller. Off tackle on the far side. He picks up 3 or 4. Good enough for a first down for Elsinore.
Again, exploiting that right offensive side, left defensive side that McGill vacated.
So 1st and 10. Set it at the 32-yard line for Elsinore.
So when you get an injured player, you have a substitute come in, a second team, second level player. You want to see what he's got, and they're just going right at him to see whoever that replacement is, if he can fill that spot as well as McGill did.
Huddle for Elsinore. Offensive efficiency has been high for the Tigers all game long. Now a single receiver to the wide side of the field. They're going to run that way with Miller. Miller's got space. He gets a block. Past the 30. Cuts it back at the 20. And finally dragged down from behind inside of the 10 as Deshaun Bell got to him. And it'll be 1st and goal for the Elsinore Tigers.
Batimana led the way with a great block. You probably heard the pop from up here. There was a Arlington defender closing in on him, and he got a good head start and just leveled him, decleated him like we'd say in the old days.
So 4:30 and counting here in frame number 3. A 21-7 advantage for Elsinore already, and they're occupying a lot of time of possession, keeping the Arlington offense off the field, which is good news for Elsinore fans because the Lions offense has started to kind of find a rhythm as of late.
And I still see McGill down at the table. I believe they are doing some concussion protocol down there.
Handoff inside. Still on his feet, down inside of the 5. Believe that's Van Cott who got his number called.
Van Cott, when he hits the hole, is spinning like a whirling dervish. If you've ever seen the dervishes dance in this country of Turkey, he looks like a whirling dervish out there. Tough to bring down. Spinning, moving, chopping. Feet never stop.
Another player down, this time for Elsinore. So a stoppage in play. And this would be a 2nd and goal from where the ball's sitting right now. Maybe about a half yard out, but I'm not sure if that's the official spot or if that's just where the ball was left on the injury. But it's sitting right along that goal line. And with this running game for Elsinore, they'll spot it back at around the 2-yard line. And it will be 2nd and goal from there.
If we had a chance to describe this to our listeners, Van Cott's feet move like a cat on a hot tin roof. If you ever heard that before, that expression. If you watched him run, you'd know what it meant. His feet just the feet are never both on the ground at the same time. Tough to tackle.
Elsinore player on his feet.
Looks like that was Batimana. Or Batman, as people refer to him on the Elsinore sideline. No one's robbing him of minutes. And I'm no joker.
I feel like there should be a play-along bingo at home for the listeners.
Why so serious?
Tim Hatch puns. This carry to the 1-yard line for Elsinore. After Batimana took him to the 2. Elsinore going to line up quickly. Looking to punch it in, already up 14. I formation back. That's Manny Vasquez. Instead, they give it to the other back. He's into the end zone untouched. Van Cott, 4 touchdowns for the Tigers, 4 for Van Cott. It's 27-7 in favor of Elsinore.
And that was a very business-like, workman-like drive. Again, nothing flashy, just play after play of their line just blowing holes open. I don't believe they completed a pass in that drive. I think that was all runs off the top of my head.
And now the extra point for Elsinore. 3 for 3 already tonight is Sandoval, making him 7 for 8 on the day, or on the year, that is. Trying to make it a even 28-7. Michael Sandoval, snaps good, hold is great. And kick right down the middle. 28-7 in favor of the Tigers. 2:51 on the clock. And how about this Elsinore offense?
Very hard to stop. Reminiscent of that Northern Vista game that we had against Corona a few weeks ago. But offensive line blowing holes open, except for the first 2 plays of that last drive. They're not hitting the running back until he's 3-4 yards deep into the secondary after every play.
Kevin McCullough back to return for Arlington. Sandoval will kick it away. Arlington again having some trouble making sure the right personnel is on for special teams.
And I look over to the sideline, I see McGill is still on the trainer's table. Basically, the way concussion protocol works is that they ask some questions, they check his vision, they check to see if he has the symptoms of a concussion. If he has the symptoms, he's not allowed back in the game until he sees a doctor off the field next week or next day or 2.
Sandoval going to kick it deep. This is Kevin McCullough with a chance to return. Finds a seam, stays on his feet, onto the 35-yard line, finally wrestled out of bounds. And with 2:45 to go, Arlington with a 3-touchdown deficit to try to make up their offense, and Leuta will go back to work.
Again, I'd like to see Leuta get a little more chances to expose his athleticism, get him out some open areas, open space, rolling pockets, quick outs, some more option things where he can keep the ball and run, because we haven't seen him run too much since the early part of the game.
1st and 10, they'll put him at the 38-yard line, their own 38, that is, for Arlington. Now put it back at the 36. 3 receivers to the wide side of the field, that's the far side. McCullough, the running back. They'll pass. Leuta looking downfield, over the middle, early contact, and there's the flag as they were trying to get it to Christian Burke.
And defending on that play was James Brady.
How about the two-way player? And that's a pretty deep sideline for Elsinore. And yet their quarterback is still out there on defense.
And I don't know about that call. I'm going to say our officials in high school do not make many mistakes. But that was a very late flag coming in.
Move the ball to the 49-yard line. The Elsinore 49, that is. Give Arlington the first down. And away we go. Miscommunication. Leuta left all by himself, running the option to the near side. Zeke Valentine thought they were going to the opposite direction. Picked up 2 plays, or 2 yards on a first down play, 2nd and 8.
That's about the 4th or 5th time we've seen him go the wrong way on a play. I believe he's a new player. We didn't see him earlier in the season, but you would think that in the huddle they'd make sure he knew which side he was going to at this point. I mean, literally telling him, you're going to the right, you're going to the left.
Second and 8 coming up for Arlington. Got an injured Lion along the near sideline now. Arlington starting to put together the makings of what could be a successful drive yet again. Their last drive stalled on a miscommunication play. Deep in Elsinore territory, created a turnover on downs. To give it back to Elsinore, they drove down and scored a touchdown. Van Cott's fourth score of the day to make it 28-7.
Leuta was the player down at that point. But there's no worse feeling, Cullen, than as a quarterback to run a play and turn around and have nobody on your side of the field being left out in the open.
So Mark Acosta in at quarterback for Arlington. He'll run over to receiver.
Devin Johnson, number 5.
And it appears to be Devin Johnson who's going to step in at quarterback for Arlington. Shotgun for Johnson, ball on the near hash. 3 receivers to his left. Hands it off. Valentine bounces it outside to the left side of things. Picks up a good chunk of yardage on 2nd and 8. Will bring up 3rd and 3.
Leuta coming back in. Good news for the Arlington side. Again, his explosiveness, his leadership are very positives that they need on the offensive side for the Lions right now.
So Devin Johnson will shift back to wide receiver. Mark Acosta will come back off. 3 receivers now to the near side with the ball on the far hash. Leuta back in the game. McCullough the lone back. 3rd and 3. Shotgun snap to Leuta. He'll hand it off. No, a quarterback keeper up the middle on the fake. Picked up maybe a yard or 2.
Not a great spot on that one, as the piles got pushed back by the Elsinore interior line. Again, I'd like to see Leuta getting some rolling pockets and some movement in space away from the middle of the field, because he's an effective runner.
4th and a long 1 for Leuta and the Arlington offense. They go back to a 2-back set now. Hand it off to Valentine. Trying to follow blockers on the far side. He's got a seam. Up the sideline, still on his feet. 10-5, touchdown Lions.
Now we see why he's in there so much when he goes the wrong direction, because when he goes the right direction, good things happen.
Zeke Valentine, and it's 28-13 in favor of Elsinore.
That was an impressive run.
Arlington right back in the game at this point. Alexander on to try to make this just a 2-touchdown, 2 extra point ball game.
Looked like he was bottled up there and then found a little crease and took off and exploded out of there.
56 seconds left in this quarter. Alexander, extra point. Is good. 28-14 Elsinore. Arlington with a good drive, and they capped it off with a touchdown for once. And now they'll kick it away to a very good Elsinore offense as they try to answer and extend this lead once again.
That was an answer that they needed right there. A little shot in the arm, got the crowd back into it, got the people excited. The guy at the Kona Ice thing out there shaking his ice makers and ready to roll. Now their defense needs to come up with a stop.
So Arlington will kick it away left to right. Inside of a minute to play in the 3rd frame of this ball game. Arlington's defense is going to need a stop.
And they're going to have to do it, looks like, without the services of McGill. I'm looking on it for him at the trainer's table. Looks like he's still over there. I don't know if you can see it down there.
So Alexander will kick it away. Just his 3rd kickoff of the night.
I see him down by the TV with his helmet off. That's not a good sign for Arlington if McGill's out.
Onside kick bounces right into the arms for Elsinore of Michael Martinez. And good field position for the Tigers as Arlington take a chance on special teams.
Hey, it's a gutsy call. Sometimes you got to do that. If they come up with it, they have great field position with their offense on a roll, much like a ham and cheese sandwich. They're on a roll and ready to move. But, hey, it didn't work, so now the defense has to buckle down and make a stop.
First and 10 from the Arlington 48-yard line for Elsinore.
It's taking them a while to get this ball back into play here.
.52 seconds on the clock. First and 10 from the 48. Motion the tight end to the other side. Ball on the near hash. Brady, handoff Van Cott. Working left to right. Now cuts it up the middle. Pickup of about 4.
And if you were to just describe the Van Cott runs every time, that is the epitome of a Van Cott run. He got the ball in the jet sweep as he came out. He could have had wide field, but he looked up, he saw a seam, and he goes up and he picks up 5 yards. And it's just over and over and over, and it wears down on the defense. And then sooner or later, he's going to get that seam, and it's going to pop, and he's going to be gone.
Second and 6 now from the Arlington 44. Brady under center. Got a receiver split wide to his left. Give up the middle. This is Badimana. Up the near sideline. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown Elsinore. And they answer right back to make it 34-14 in favor of the Tigers.
And that is a punch to the gut of Arlington's defense. They needed to make a stop there, and they ran it a little probing play, and Badimana saw a seam, took off, great speed, and he cut it to the outside, and their safeties were up too close, and no chance to catch him.
Elsinore, again on the PAT, lining up in the trick play formation, and then they'll motion to set up to kick it. 4 seconds left in the third quarter. After Arlington had a good touchdown run by Valentine, Elsinore answered right back with a TD of their own. Now leading it by 20 points, trying to make it a clean 21. Extra point by Sandoval is good. He's 5 for 5 tonight. 4 seconds to go in the third. 35-14 Elsinore on the Inland Sports YouTube channel.
And that dynamic two-headed running back that you spoke about earlier with almost 1,200 yards coming in has been virtually unstoppable today, led by the offensive line and the holds they're making and the play fakes of Brady and his hiding the ball and just execution. That efficient offense, again, by Elsinore has been hard to stop today.
So Sandoval from the 40-yard line. We'll kick it away right to left. Arlington got about 12 minutes and 4 seconds to try to make up this 21-point deficit.
Is he waiting for a football, maybe?
Now the far side official will bring the ball on. Most teams will have a kicking ball that's a little bit slicker that they use, a little different from their official game ball that they'll use on offense.
Is that like Tom Brady-ish?
Same pressure, different grip. Alexander McCullough, return team tandem for Arlington. Finally set. Maybe not. Going to kick it away. White Hat wasn't ready as he is on the near side talking with Arlington coach Jeff Roney.
That is, again, the great Ron Wade, a veteran official here in the Inland Empire of many sports. So our white hat today.
So we'll kick off one more time with just 4 ticks left in this third frame. Sandoval to boot it away. His team up 35-14 over the Lions from Arlington. So Notre Dame will take on Temescal Canyon. They're 1-2 right now as far as non-league records go.
And I'd say it's probably a safe bet that they're here today watching this game.
Sandoval. Deep kick. Bounces once. Fielded in the end zone, though, by Alexander. Will be a touchback. So from the 20, Arlington will get one play off before the end of the third quarter.
Now, let's hope that wasn't a backbreaker there. Defensively, that's tough when your offense scores, the momentum shifts, the fans start to get into it. The standing room only excited crowd starts to wake back up, and all of a sudden, bam, a long run by Elsinore. It's just a punch to the gut. And let's see if they can answer now. They can score themselves to catch back up or cut back into the lead.
First and 10. Layuta. From their own 20, Arlington back to work. Alexander on the handoff. He lost the football. It's taken away by Elsinore. And now the officials saying he was down, but are they saying that the Elsinore player that recovered it was down or that Arlington was down? They'll say Elsinore recovers. And the Tigers defense with a big momentum play after picking up that answer touchdown. It's 35-14. They'll have the ball deep in Arlington territory, and that is how the third quarter will end. Elsinore's defense coming up with a big play of their own after it's been all Tiger offense all game long. One more quarter to play. It'll be first and 10 for Elsinore from about the 24-yard line of Arlington. When we come back, Inland Empire High School football on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Back at Ramona High School, Arlington taking on Elsinore. It's been the Tigers for most of this one, up 35-14. Little misdirection play. Earl Miller breaks out of a shoestring tackle. A pickup of about 5 on first down, coming off a fumble recovery for Elsinore. So first and 10 from the 23-yard line will become second and 6 from the 19 of Arlington.
You know, all the running backs from Elsinore move their feet very well. They're not easy to bring down. They're spinning, moving. Like I said, cat on a hot tin roof, feet moving. Kind of reminds me of the old Davy Hopkins at Arlington High, the way he used to move on a basketball court. And Danny Hopkins, too. The Hopkins brothers, famous alums from Arlington High.
Second and 6. Brady under center. Handoff. Miller going the other way, this time near side. Gets a block. Near sideline. 10-5. Lunges for the pylon. He got it. Touchdown, Tigers.
Another great block. I can't say enough about Gemini Bedamana, who scored the touchdown previous, leading the way with a great clear-out block at the end of the defensive back that was there. It was a great block.
41-14 Elsinore. 11:06 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. They'll kick the extra point. And this Tiger offense, a well-oiled machine that just picked up speed as this game went on.
Yeah, their execution is outstanding.
Shift that formation back into the traditional kicking protection. Brady will hold. Sandoval will kick his 6th PAT of this game. Was that our first touchdown of the game not scored by our good friend Gavin Van Cott?
Battimana had one previous touchdown.
Extra point is good. Van Cott, Battimana, and now Earl Miller all on the scorecard for the Tigers as they're up 42-14, 11:06 to play.
So a three-headed monster, a veritable hydra of running backs coming out of the backfield for Elsinore. The Tigers are just very multifaceted. I've still been very impressed with Brady, with the way he threw. He's thrown the ball very well today. And I guess it's one of those axioms that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So the running backs and the running game is so dominant, why pass? What's the point? I want to give another shout out to other famous Arlington alum, Lucas Duda, who played in the playoffs last week versus the Dodgers. And he had a great season with the Braves. And also I wanted to give a shout out to the incomparable John Seidel, the basketball coach forever at Arlington High School, a good friend and a very good coach, mentor to the Arlington players and athletes. Just giving a shout out to those guys today.
Sandoval to kick it away left to right. Deep booming kick. McCullough with a chance to return, he muffs it. Scoops it up off the ground at the 10. Now cuts back to his right. Caught from behind, swarmed and brought down as he reaches the 17-yard line. That's where Arlington will go to work. Right to left goes the offense. Layuta back out there as the signal caller.
And I hate to use plethora again, a veritable plethora of Tigers tackling him. And what would be a collective noun of Tigers? Since Lions is a pride, what are the Tigers?
What do Tigers travel in?
Packs? I don't know, but it sure looked like a pack of Tigers brought him down there.
First and 10 from their own 17. Lions going to work. Layuta will pass on play number 1. Steps up in a closing pocket. Brought down. No gain.
Elsinore's energy is just really risen to the highest level it's been the whole game right now. Both sides of the ball, they're flying to the ball on defense. Layuta had no chance to get that play off. As he stepped back, the pocket collapsed around him quickly. And the old expression, they're pinning their ears back. Right now, Elsinore's dropping back 2 safeties, the deepest they've dropped them all game, about 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage, knowing that Arlington's going to have to pass.
Layuta's pitch on the ground somehow bounces up into the arms of Valentine. He's able to salvage maybe a yard on the run.
And right now, Arlington seems to be a little bit of disarray for obvious reasons. I think their spirits have been hurt a little bit here, but they've got to bounce up and got to compete. That's the bottom line, is you have to keep competing. The crowd is still with them. I still see a lot of people on their feet. I still see a lot of pom-poms being waved. And I see the security people are actually telling them to stop right now, trying to get them to quit being such a distraction.
3rd and 11. Layuta rolled to his right. Looks like another broken play, trying to make something happen. Now turns back further towards his own end zone. In deep trouble. Brought down at about the 10-yard line. And Elsinore's defense, that's a coverage sack for sure. Great job by the defensive backfield for the Tigers. Now a player down for Elsinore. 42-14 is the lead, and this will be 4th and a country mile, as we like to say.
Absolutely. Definitely not a city mile, but I would say a country mile.
Punt team on for Arlington. They'll give it right back to Elsinore.
And they're going to have to punt out of the end zone right now.
Execution's got to be clean from the end zone, something that Arlington has lacked for a majority of this game. Inside of 9 minutes to play in this one. Once again, 42-14, the lead for Elsinore. Return man Van Cott set up at the Arlington 40 for this one. Layuta will punt it away. Snap's good. Punt away. Layuta, fair catch, called for and caught. They'll mark him at the 35-yard line. Elsinore a chance to punch in a few more points.
And you can see the sideline for Arlington right now, a lot of chins to chest. And you know, the whole idea of playing is to compete. And unfortunately, they're at the lower end of a score here. But get a turnover, bounce back, get a score. They've got to still rise to the occasion here. They've got to, I can throw every cliche I want out there. No moss grows on a rolling stone, so they need to be rolling stones and get into the backfield and make plays. It's pretty simple.
Brady under center. Going to have Manny Vasquez behind him. Had a touchdown last week for the Tigers. Vasquez on the handoff. Good run. First down pickup on the first play of this drive inside the 20. Mark him at the 19 and move the chains for Elsinore.
Again, on both sides of the ball, the Tigers are just popping. Their offensive line exploding out. Just their blocks are great. The holes are huge. And another guy down, player down for Elsinore now. He's up and moving. I believe that was Vasquez who just carried.
Make it 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line for this, what is highly efficient Elsinore offense in this one. Still working out of the huddle. 8:20 to play. Brady. Handoff, this time on the carry. Javon Mann kept his feet moving. Finally brought down by Knizer after a pickup of a few.
And Knizer's still playing. Knizer has a great motor. He's a stalwart in the middle of that defense, and he's still battling, and he's still playing with a lot of pride.
So 2nd and 7 for Elsinore. Clock still running. Down to about 7.5 to play in this one. Well, Elsinore looking to make a run in the league. Notre Dame and Temescal Canyon, both very good squads as well. That Notre Dame game for Elsinore is next week. Handoff, pickup of 1 or 2 for Elsinore on the play.
As we wind down, we can start looking at a couple of our awards. I think our Swiss Army knife award today would definitely go to Zach Alexander for Arlington. He kicked extra points, great kick returns, played a little offense, played a little defense. Number 1, generously listed at 5'4", 120, but played with a lot of spirit and drive today for Arlington.
This will be a 3rd and 6 play. Set up at about the 15.5 of Arlington. Handoff running to the near side is Tyler Putt. Brought down in the backfield. Christian Burke on the tackle. And a 4th down. Could be bringing on the field goal team.
Do you think Tyler Putt is on the golf team at Elsinore?
He better be with that last name or he gets expelled.
Because he stopped that drive just now by being tackled for a loss.
Sandoval on for the field goal from the near hash. This one, a 33-yarder. He made a 43-yarder that didn't count earlier in the game.
He's got more than enough leg for this.
Near hash, though, bit of a different angle. Operation is clean. Kick on its way. It's good. 5:37 on the clock. Make it 45-14 in favor of Elsinore.
And that gives the Elsinore crowd, which is also a great crowd tonight, very excitable group. I see them on their feet over there cheering for the kick. A great kick for Sandoval.
Michael Sandoval moves to 2 for 2 in field goals this year. Arlington's offense got to keep playing. Burke, Alexander, the return men deep for the Lions. Just over 5.5 to play. Sandoval will kick it away. Elsinore dominating.
Very, very business-like performance today. Again, nothing's flashy, just grinding it out and showing that their strength is their offensive line and their interior running game. As we spoke earlier in the game, they don't have to pass a lot, but when they needed to, Brady was good. Burke on the return.
Lost the football. Arlington able to fall on it, though. At about the 25-yard line, that's where they'll go to work. For Elsinore, they turn their attention to Notre Dame next week and then Temescal Canyon. Games 2 and 3 to finish out league play for them. So Arlington, obviously, vice versa. They'll go to Temescal Canyon and then Notre Dame.
Now, Arlington needs to just establish something getting ready for that next week's game. They're not going to make up 31 points in 5.5 minutes, but they need to execute their offense. They need to get on the same page, which they seem to have been lost a little bit today, with Valentine going to the wrong side of the field several times, although he's proved to be a very, very elusive and excellent runner.
Handoff up the middle for Arlington. Pickup of 2. Zeke Valentine.
I see some subs in there on the Elsinore side. You see some guys out there with no names on their back, which means those are probably JV players out there coming in to get a few snaps.
Second and 8. Ball in the near hash. 45-14 Elsinore. Layuta just going to tuck it and run. Pickup of 1 or 2.
I would love to see Tyler Putt get the ball again. And I'm just wondering, is Tyler Putt, what if he was related to Minnie Driver? She'd have Minnie Driver with Tyler Putt. You'd have a whole golf bag in a family.
This is 3rd and 6 from the 30. High snap over the head of Layuta. Got a fall on it back at the 23.
Execution not there tonight for Arlington, unfortunately.
4th down. Appears that the offense is out there.
At this point, they're going to have to go for it.
This will be 4th and 13 from the 23. Layuta. Shotgun 2-back set. Got 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Timeout Arlington, 3:25 to play. 45-14 in favor of Elsinore.
There seemed to be some more confusion offensively there, which is kind of a surprise again. When you're in your 8th game of the year, some of the confusion they've had, guys running the wrong direction, execution things that just can't happen. And especially in a game like this where they were fighting for a spot to get off to 1-0 start and to share first place, start of a new season, just not excusable. Elsinore on the other side has been, again, very businesslike, very workmanlike, very efficient, impressive in their drives. And if, for example, when McGill went out for Arlington, who's still unfortunately on the trainer's table, what Elsinore did was they just went to his side and attacked his replacement. And that's what championship teams do. They take advantage of the weakness of the other team. And Elsinore's been very impressive today.
How about a bounce back for Elsinore? Hammered 63-13 by Rancho Verde. Come back and pick up a big league win against Arlington. With 3:25 on the clock, Layuta just going to go for it all. Had a man on the near sideline. Squeezed out of bounds. Devin Johnson unable to make the catch. Good coverage by Max Long.
Yep.
Coming over to help.
Yeah, Max
Willie
Long
Haug.
walled him off very well. Never let him get a step on him. It was just kind of desperation heave. And at this point, Elsinore has a lot of subs in there. Have a lot of second team guys.
New quarterback in, William Haug, the 5'10 senior, as Elsinore takes over at the Arlington 23-yard line with 3:19 on the clock. They're up 45-14 in this one. We'll take home a win in their first Sun Belt League game. Now a flag on the play before the snap.
Arlington jumped offside, I believe.
Still waiting for the official signal. And it will be offsides against Arlington, so a 5-yard penalty will bring up 1st and 5. Move it down to the 18-yard line. Still 3:19. Well, Arlington, they're going to have to respond. They face two very good teams, Notre Dame and Temescal Canyon. To finish out the season, Haug, handoff, room to run for this running back, into the end zone, touchdown. Mike Brennan, Elsinore having their way on offense, 51-14. Bring Brennan in for his first carry of the game. Why not score a touchdown?
And he was never touched. He went right through the middle of the defense, went all the way to the end zone, was not touched until his teammate jumped on him to celebrate in the end zone.
(51-14) in favor of Elsinore. Sandoval has been nails tonight. Hal gonna hold, so a different holder for him this time around. Kick is up. He still drills it. 52-14. How about them Tigers?
They just picked up steam as the second half rolled in. They've been impressive in all facets of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. Very well coached, very disciplined. And I think it's going to be an interesting finish to the league here in these last couple weeks as they go to Temescal Canyon and Notre Dame. Those three teams meet up.
Well, Elsinore has shown that they can play with the top half of this league, which coming in to league play was consensus Notre Dame and Temescal Canyon. Elsinore is putting their name in the ring.
Definitely. Also, it's impressive with them is something you have to think about as you scout them is the kicking game. So now, you get to a certain point, you're going to be giving up the 3 points, where you might not have thought of that before.
Three minutes, 11 seconds to play. Sandoval boots it away left to right. Burke going to get it from his own 5. Chance to return for Arlington. Burke got some running room out past the 30 and spun down on the far sideline.
And we are now a running clock. The official has signaled that the rest of the game will be played under a running clock.
1st and 10, put it at the 24 or 34-yard line. That is for Arlington.
And it's a sign that the game is over when the trainers are dumping the ice buckets on the sideline. Their technique is excellent. They make sure that nothing is splashed on anybody as they watch them dump ice buckets.
Well, if you're Arlington, you're still looking for your first win of the season. And it's tough to swallow after an 8-3 campaign and a trip to the playoffs last season. Trips to the near side for Arlington. Going to tuck it and run as Layuta. Gets it out to the 40. Pickup of 6. Clock still running. We got 120 seconds left. Elsinore going to go to 500 on the season. 1-0 in the league.
and a great start in the new Sun Belt League of the Rain Cross Conference.
Second and 4. Layuta will pass. Fires one in the direction of Burke. Broken up. Clock continuing to run inside of 90 seconds.
That was a dangerous play. A great read by the the linebacker from Elsinore. Could have been a pick six. Well, if you're the Arlington coaches, you say, hey, we still can play for playoffs. With these last 2 games, 2 wins, probably ties them for first. And they got to dig in. They got to go back to the drawing board. They can't give up on the whole season.
Third and 4. Got trips to the far side for Layuta. Just a few more plays to run. This one off the fingertips of Valentine as they try to run the bubble screen to the near side. They've tried that play a lot tonight. And there's been space out there, just never able to connect.
The timing's been off all day.
4th and 4. Arlington.
And with that, the deflated crowd will have to head out to their RVs and their trucks and head back home disappointed with the school day tomorrow. Spirits a little down, but not broken because they do have the pride of the Lions.
Handoff Valentine, bottled up immediately. And on the play. Elsinore's front line defensively solid all game long. Finished off with an exclamation point there. Final score 52-14. On the turnover on 4th down, they'll let the clock run out. Elsinore picks up a big win, moves to 500. 4-4 on the season, 1-0 in league out of Division 7. Arlington will still search for their first win of the season as they fall to 0-8. That's Tim Hatch. I'm Colin Holt. These are our sponsors. If you're looking to get your oil changed, I got a place for you. Check out Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change on Alessandro Boulevard in Riverside. Just off the 215 freeway, you can spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Give them a follow on Instagram as well. Since 1976, Ken's Sporting Goods has been the #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire. They can also do uniforms for your entire team or business. And, of course, they do Letterman's jackets. Check out Ken's Sporting Goods in Norco. Visit them online, kensportinggoods.com. If you're on the market looking to purchase a car, truck, SUV, make Catalano Motors in Corona your first stop. They have weekly specials, so you're going to save thousands of dollars. If you mention the Inland Sports Show, you get $500 off. That's Catalano Motors in Corona, off Temescal Canyon Road, and online at catalanocars.com. Athletes from all sports levels are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Check out their strength and speed classes and become the explosive, dynamic athlete you always dreamed of. Follow Boost on Twitter and Instagram and visit them online at boosttrainingsystems.com. That's Boost Performance Training. Tell you what, if you'd like to sponsor an Inland Sports broadcast of football or one of the Inland Sports shows, simply shoot us an email at inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. That's inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. Once again, a final score, Elsinore defeating Arlington 52-14. A big win for the Tigers in Game 1 of Sun Belt League play as we start a new era of the Sun Belt League as part of the Rain Cross Conference. For Tim Hatch, Colin Holt, Pep Fernandez, our executive producer, and everyone at Inland Sports, we appreciate you joining us, and we will talk to you from the Inland Sports Show on Tuesday, IEMG Sports Weekly Live tomorrow night. Don't forget to check out the Riverside TV Game of the Week tomorrow night as well. We'll see you next time. Tim Hatch, Colin Holt, signing off.